Shit. Okay. Okay, technical difficulty. Did not know you couldn't rotate your phone on a Facebook Live video. I am here today, Maureen Nucitelli, the mixology diva, and after a little coaxing from some friends, I thought I would share some basic bartending skills with you guys. And I've been a bartender for a number of years. Currently, I am taking a hiatus due to the current situation. So I thought, hey, I kind of miss it. Let me just like get online, get on Facebook Live and start sharing some of the stuff I know. Yay, Sarah, my #1 fan. Actually, thank you, Sarah Sullivan O'Neill, for making me go ahead and do this. Anyways, enough about me. Let's get down to some basic bartending skills. Now, I know over the last years, people go out to bars, they're really into craft cocktails. Boston was definitely one of the top cities for participating in that trend. And I actually don't really think it's a trend. I believe it's sort of something here to stay. However, when I went out to bars and restaurants, I did notice a few basic, I don't want to throw any bartenders under the bus, but I think a lot of young, inexperienced bartenders weren't trained properly. So what I want to do today is train you on some basic stuff, and then we are going to make a classic Manhattan, a whiskey sour, and then a seasonal favorite of mine. So first of all, I'm going to go over some glassware, some equipment, how to do stuff. I'm going to show you my ice. Please, everybody start with clean ice. I know all of you grab your ice from your freezer. Check that filter. It should be changed every few months. So anyways, I have clean ice. And next we're going to go over shakers. Most home bartenders use what's called a cobbler shaker. Easy to use. The strainer is built right in. This is what most home bartenders use. Most professional bartenders use the Boston shaker. Classic. I just rinsed this out. This is a pint glass metal shaker. I'm going to show you how to use this in 1 minute. Next, we're going to go over strainers. Believe it or not, there are different strainers. This is called a julep strainer, and this is for when you make drinks that have 100% booze, okay? And this Hawthorne strainer is when you actually put the two together, shake, shake, shake. Now, I've seen a lot of bartenders, once again, young and experienced, not quite know how to do this whole routine properly. There's science and art. You tap it, you get it at that angle, you shake, 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 and the only drinks you're technically supposed to shake are drinks that have mixers. Anything that's pure booze, Manhattan, Rob Roy, Martini, those sort of drinks are supposed to be stirred. But I know James Bond turned all that around. Now, to release it, if you can see this, there's a wide gap and a no gap and a medium gap on either side. You tap it at the medium gap and it releases. Okay? Little trick to know. What other kinds of cool gadgets do we have? I know a lot of people use a jigger to measure their booze. It's not my favorite. My favorite are these. So if you're learning how to make drinks, I recommend these. This little, you can see exactly how many ounces, quarter ounces you put in. Today, I'm gonna actually use the clear one so you can see me. What else do I have? A little cutting board, cute little nifty knife. I bring a strainer when I juice citrus fruits. I typically put it through this first, and we get out the pulp and the seeds. All this other stuff I have is fancy schmancy stuff, doesn't really need. But one thing I have to say, once you get the hang of measuring your booze, and these pour caps, so say you're having a party where you make a lot of drinks, I recommend these. It controls the rate in which you pour, and bartenders soon figure out how much comes out. And by the way, a real bartender will turn it completely upside down and have it parallel to their body. So if you go see someone like this, that's not gonna let it flow out. You can't get the proper count, and your count is off on your drink. So most experienced bartenders don't have to sit there and measure like that. However, if you're an at-home bartender and you're still trying to get the feel of things, use the measure. All right, I think I did all the tools. This is the only kind of wine key you should use. I will teach you how to use this in the next tutorial. Now we're going to go over glasses. Another Sarah's with us today. Hi, Sarah Wiesbrock. So it's really important to use the right glasses for the right drinks. Over the years, the popularity of glasses has come and gone. However, everyone will recognize this as a cocktail glass, a martini glass, anything that has is referred to as an up drink. The drink is strained and then put into this glass. Then over the last few years, an old style glass came back into fashion, a coupe. And it's that one too. They call it a coupe, and supposedly it was the exact size of Marie Antoinette's breast size. But so there are different kind of coupes. As you can see, I have a soft spot for vintage glassware. I have a lot of it, too much. And then we've got the classic rocks glass, nothing special, put in your cubes. And nowadays you can get a special silicone cube maker to make a large rock. Put your whiskey over it. The rock does not dissolve as quickly as multiple ice cubes, and you can kind of savor your whiskey chilled without being diluted. Moving right along, this is an old-fashioned glass, very classic, and this is a double old-fashioned, so some drinks are well suited in there. And this is, most of you know, a Moscow Mule. Nowadays, many variations on the Moscow Mule, some kind of vodka, ginger beer, some kind of flavoring, and you have a seasonal Moscow Mule. We might be making one of those today. All right, so why don't we start, and I always have like a little bar towel, my little cutting board. We're going to make a Manhattan, okay? I know Sarah Wiesbrock is gonna be happy about this drink. So, clean ice. I really recommend no hands in ice. I don't like hands in food, hands in drinks, or anything like that. So I don't have cocktail ice. I have classic, I guess, freezer ice. All right, so the classic Manhattan ratio is 2 to 1. 2 whiskey, 1 sweet vermouth. So let's talk about whiskey for a minute. There's various kind of whiskeys, and I know for a lot of people, they get confused. So there's blended whiskey, and there's rye whiskey. So rye whiskey has a tendency to be somewhat dry, and it has to have 51% rye grain in it. And then there's my favorite, and a lot of Southern women's favorite, is bourbon. And this is going to be a little sweeter because it's got to have at least 51% corn. And all of it is from Kentucky. Okay? Today we're going to make our drink with bourbon, because that's what I have. So let's talk about vermouth for a minute. A lot of people just run out and buy Martini and Rossi. Sorry to say, I'm not a fan. I even somebody gave me this bottle and I was like, we're going to give it another chance. I didn't love it. So I'm going to pass on that. So here's a pretty nice one. It's not going to break the bank. Dolan Sweet Vermouth. If you really want to have a super nice one, there's Rosso Antico. We're just going to use Dolan today. All right, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So let's use ounces. We're going to do 2 ounces of whiskey and 1 ounce of the sweet vermouth. So I'm going to use this little measuring cup, which has got the slant and all to it. And I'm going to put in, perfect, 2 ounces. Pour that right over your ice cubes. Get out your Dolan Sweet Vermouth. And we're going to pour in 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Okay? I guess I should have put a pourer on that as well. All right. Now, technically and classically, Manhattans and martinis are not supposed to be shaken. However, it's been my experience over the years, some people like the little shavings of ice that's created when you shake it. However, let's do the proper way today of making a Manhattan. And that is to stir it. And you can really, it's going pretty, once you get that going, it's pretty easy to twirl it, swirl it. So we can put it, we can choose one of our up glasses. We can choose one of the coupes or the classic martini glass. Okay? Now, I know a lot of you don't have the julep strainer, but that is actually the proper strainer. But if you were at home, you could also use the Hawthorne. I almost forgot the bitters, good old school Angostura. Okay? 1, 2. I like a lot of bitters. Some people are experimenting with all sorts of flavored bitters, orange bitters. I have the Armando bitters. I'm a big bitters fan myself. So now I'm going to stir it again because I put the bitters in there and I want it to be blended. Doesn't that just sound so lovely? So, what glass do I want? I think I want to show it to you in the coupe. What do you think, Sarah squared? All right. So, in case you didn't see it, julep strainer went just like that. Bang. Okay? Now, I know if you're out at a regular bar, the bartender goes and gets this fluorescent red maraschino cherry. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of chemicals. Not a fan of anything fake. In my Manhattans, I like to put an orange peel. And I want to show you the right way to do a twist. So just take your nice sharp vegetable peeler and do about the size of a Band-Aid, I'm going to say. Band-Aid, okay? Now, I want you to crack this horizontally. This is where all the oil's going to come, not this side. So if you see someone twisting it with the white pith, that's going to make your drink better. This is going to release the citrus oils. So crack it horizontally. Now you want to take that citrus side and rub it around. Okay. Let me just give that a taste test. That is good. Now, maybe you really want a cherry. I'm going to recommend this treat. These cherries, I'm going to warn you right now, they're not cheap. Luxardo cherries, okay? So what's going to happen, they're in syrup. They're real cherries. And a little bit of that syrup is going to get in your drink. So if you like the drink kind of sweet, that's what you want, okay? Now let me taste that. Technically, you should go with one or the other, not both, but I'm just doing a show. Delightful, okay? Any questions? No. All right, so we got the Manhattan down, and now you just look so elegant. And for all you people who are afraid of whiskey, give it a try. Start with bourbon, and if you're like, ooh, it's a little bit too much for me, change the proportions a little and add a little more sweet vermouth, okay? All right, so we're gonna put this one to the side. We're gonna put the vermouth away. Oh, almost forgot. So sometimes you'll overhear a customer say, you know, Cindy, I want a perfect Manhattan. You're thinking, Jesus, that guy is so demanding. You want something perfect? Actually, perfect refers to a style of a Manhattan. And what it is both the dry vermouth and the sweet vermouth. So if we go back to our 2-to-1 ratio, be 2 ounces of whiskey, a 1/2 ounce of the sweet, a 1/2 ounce of the dry, 2 dashes of the bitters. You're all good to go. And then you have typically the perfect Manhattan gets a lemon twist, okay? Or you could do the orange. It's kind of fun. Okay, so now I want to show you how to use the Boston shaker, okay? So, scoop of clean ice. Okay. Yeah, if anybody knows me, they know that my drinks are a little bit on the heavy-handed side. Not crazy. So I know a lot of drinks, recipe says 1.5. I do closer to 2, okay? 2 ounces. Now, I like fresh sour mix. You're like, oh, God, that must be so difficult to make. No, it isn't. My simple syrup, so what simple syrup is a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar and water simmered on the stovetop until the sugar dissolves, becomes a clear liquid. Use a little squeezy bottle like this is fine. And we're going to put a mix of 1-to-1 ratio on lemon juice and simple syrup. I like it a little tart. That's why I do a 1-to-1 ratio. So you're like, all right, so we're going to squeeze up some lemon juice. And what I do is I use this contraption. So cut your lemon in half. And so it fits in this even better. I cut that little sort of nipple thing off. All right, so we need 1 ounce of lemon juice. Now, it would be good, this actually has sort of a built-in strainer. So, I'm looking for 1 ounce. Come on now, I gotta get my, all right, that looks good. I had already squeezed another lemon in there just to expedite the process. All right. And so we're gonna put the 1 ounce of lemon juice, and now we're gonna do 1 ounce of simple syrup. Okay, see how easy this is? Now, here we go with the shake, 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 okay? It really helps to get that in correctly. Yes, it's gonna be at an angle. You're gonna shake it. And this is where I don't have all booze. I have a mixer in there. So this is where you shake it and you want to build a froth. Now, for those of you who really like a frothy head, one little trick you'll see a lot of people add egg whites to make a flip or a fizz. I would never use raw egg whites, but I would go to Trader Joe's or a store like that and get powdered egg whites and put a half teaspoon in. Okay. So now we've shaken it. We can opt for our double old-fashioned or our, you know, a lot of times what I do, I just add a little ice. We'll get a little, cut up a little lemon, twist, and voila. Let me try that for you. See, I like this because it's a little tart. Now, if you're a sweet tooth person, this is where you go. I'm going to add a little more this. If you like very little sugar, like myself, if I were making this for myself, I'd put in almost hardly any of the simple syrup, but that's me. All right, so moving right along, so we have two drinks made. I think we can move these out of the way. All right. So here's my seasonal specialty drink. So I was talking about a Moscow Mule. So one of the drinks I created is called the Cape Cod Mule. So, oh, Jackie, hi, my niece. There is a one. So if anybody knows me, I don't like anything fake. I don't want anything flavored or anything else, because that's just like, you know, a chemical made in a laboratory and thrown in the vodka, whatever, the gin, the tequila, whatever. If you want a flavor in your drink, put in real stuff. Put in real herbs, real spices, real fruit. The exception is this distillery on Nantucket called 888. So they do make a regular plain vodka, and they do flavored vodkas. But this is cranberry vodka with Cape Cod cranberries. They also have a blueberry vodka with, no surprise, Maine wild blueberries. So my drink, it's really good, but it wasn't that creative. I'm not doing a lot, so I'm going to get fresh ice. Actually, you know what? I'm going to, even though it should be in the Moscow Mule mug, I'm going to put it in this glass so you can see how pretty it is. Okay? I wish I could hear you guys, so if you have any questions. Okay. All right. I always, to make a proper drink, you really fill the glass with ice. All right? What's my ounces for a mixed drink? 2 ounces. Okay. I'm low on the 888. So pour 2 ounces of your cranberry vodka. This one would be a big hit at Thanksgiving. Okay. So now a classic mule has ginger beer. And this is really important. I've seen a lot of ginger beers, tasted a lot of ginger beers over there. Anything with high fructose corn syrup is automatically off my list. I did get these at, I think, Trader Joe's. So it's Reed's. I like them. Are they my top favorite? No, but I like them enough. So we're going to go with the extra spicy. And here's my bottle opener. Okay. So Moscow Mule, cranberry vodka. So the original recipe of Moscow Mule was vodka, ginger beer, fresh lime juice. In this case, it's going to be cranberry-infused vodka, ginger beer, and an orange slice. So let's get out our trusty orange. Cut off the white pith, which is the bitter part. Okay. And we're gonna squeeze that in there and hold that thought. I might as well use my vintage glass stir straws. Look at that, huh? I've collected these over the years. Really fun. So you can sort of do away with plastic. Now let me taste that for you guys and make sure it's okay. Yeah, that'll work. Now once again, here's where it comes into play about proportion and balance. Some of us don't like a lot of sugar, and actually that is me. I don't really eat any sugar. So the classic ratio of a mixed drink, a gin and tonic, a vodka soda, a Moscow Mule is usually 1 to 2 with the mixer. But some people just like the taste of the booze, really, and they just want to splash. So oftentimes customers would come in my bar and be like, vodka on the rocks, splash a tonic, and literally it was a splash. So if this might be a drink where you put the cranberry vodka in and you just do it a splash. So classic case, my friend Paula loves her hot spicy tequila, fresh lime, and a splash of ginger beer. She doesn't like it diluted too much. All right, trying to think of anything else. I feel like we covered a lot tonight. We covered glassware, the coupes, the rocks glass, the old-fashioned, the double old-fashioned, the martini Manhattan glass. We covered the Boston shaker that is really only supposed to be used for drinks with mixers. If you guys only have the cobbler at home, continue to use it. I would classically coach you to stir the vodka martini, stir the Manhattans, and shake the ones with the mixers. Does that make sense? Now, if you want to experiment, that was weird, my alma mater calling me, probably for a donation. Angostura, nobody really knows what's in it, but I know for sure there's cloves. Hey, this is an old bartending trick. If you have hiccups, if you want to cure them, take your Angostura bitters right on the lemon and eat the lemon. I've never not seen that work. Orange bitters, really fun. Could be put in a Manhattan, old-fashioned. This DSB bitters, I really like it too. It's hard to describe what the flavor of that is. The bitter Armando. Once again, if you have the opportunity ever to go to a specialty shop and try any bitters, I really encourage you to do that. It can be really fun. These cherries, the Luxardo cherries instead of the maraschino, yes, it's a little bit of an investment, but I think it's going to be worth it. Let me line up our drinks. Getting a good vermouth, sort of bypassing the martini and Rossi. So let's see here. All right, so we've got our Moscow Mule, which is not in the proper glass. It should really be in this, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Isn't that a pretty drink? Let me get, this is the whiskey sour, made with fresh sour mix. We could also make that a fizz by adding a half a teaspoon of dried egg white. So it would be 2 ounces of the whiskey, or bourbon, either one, 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of simple syrup, and about a half teaspoon of dried egg white. And then, of course, our Manhattan that has both the Luxardo cherry and the orange peel. So now, I am so hoping all of you have a cocktail while we're doing this. And I'm sure you're quite adept at your particular drink, but it's kind of nice sometimes to branch out. I think I covered, one other tool. We didn't really need this tonight, but a muddler is really good for muddling fruits, herbs, but I will tell you this, I've seen out at bars, mojitos and whatever, and I'm watching the bartender kill the mint. Like, honestly, for mint and basil and stuff, you could just slap it and drop it, and that would release the oil. So when people are like pummeling little defenseless herbs, I'm like, okay, what's going on there? However, citrus fruits, yes, go ahead and muddle away. So that is the other tool. So we did the julep strainer. So the hawthorn strainer, which would be for, I'm trying to think of a drink, something you made with a mixer and then you needed to strain it. You would use the hawthorn. We went over glasses. We went over my little favorite measuring cups and simple syrup. 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water in a saucepan, low heat. As soon as the sugar dissolves, you have simple syrup. After that, you can add herbs, you can add lavender, you can add spices. You can do whatever you want and go crazy. I would get these little containers and label and date them. You're all set for all sorts of yummy drinks. This is a great thing for squeezing fresh fruit. I only ever use this to make twist, your vegetable peeler. I think I kind of covered it. I don't want to prevent you guys from carrying on with your night. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I hope this was informative. I have fun and I miss making drinks every week. I used to come up with a drink special, 2 actually, every Wednesday and Thursday night. But this is my invention, the Cape Cod Mule, 888 cranberry infused vodka, fresh orange squeeze, and ginger beer. That was my concoction. So maybe I will see you. I'm going to try to start doing this every Thursday. Sarah O'Neill might help me with a title of this. I guess everyone goes Thursdays, but the Mixology Diva here. It was fun doing this, so hopefully I will see you next week, same bat time, bat channel, and we'll make a different drink and we'll go over stuff. So, thanks for tuning in. Have a rockin' good night. Okay.